Hello everyone. Today I'd like to take you on a tour of some of the wild plants that we have growing at Whitecotton. I'm sure these same plants are probably at your place too, and I have so much fun all year collecting, gathering, foraging for all these wild plants for food and medicine. Hope you enjoy the tour. Here is my little herb garden. And I don't have any water over here at the cabin yet, so a lot of times this one doesn't do real well, but they are planted, they do grow, and every year I get some really good herbs out of here. And here you can see some purple coneflower or echinacea. Here are some bee balm and some more echinacea. There's a lot of oregano. Here you can see the oregano here. And my purple coneflower, a lot of it will be going to seed, and I've been collecting the seed, and it is wonderful because it comes up so easy. You can just throw it in a pot, throw it in the ground, and it comes up. And this is a wonderful, wonderful medicine. I use it a lot. And then it looks like the deer have done a real number on my little herb garden this year. You can see all these little stakes. Like I said, we don't live here. And they just come by and they just eat what they want. And you can see a lot of little stalks and a lot of little stems here. And that seems to happen a lot over here. But I do love my little herb garden. And I have a lot of thyme. Here's some thyme. And here is, funny, here's a wild lettuce I was trying to protect with this chicken wire. And they ate the top off of it too. So, but that's okay. They need to eat too, and we sure do enjoy the deer. But anyway, this is a little look at my little herb garden, and it looks really bad right now, but different times through the year it looks really good too. Here we have a sedum plant, and it has totally been eaten off too. I'm blaming the deer, but maybe it's rabbits and deer. I don't know. Definitely the wild lettuce was eaten by a deer because it is too tall for a rabbit. But that sedum has really been eaten off too. Here's a better picture of my thyme. I use a lot of thyme. I'll use it in cooking. I also make tinctures with it. I dry it. You know, it's just a really good thing, and it takes off really good here, so I'll leave it. Like I said, I don't have water, so we have to depend strictly on the rain and just what it gets that way. And that's not always good. Like right now it's really, really hot, and so it's not getting a lot of rain. And my bee balm here, it spread from up at the other end, but this one just kind of is a wild area. And like I said, it doesn't get a lot of rain. But there you can see a lot of oregano down in there, and it's spread all over too. But I love it. I love having perennials. They're my favorite. And I like a flower or a perennial that does something. I want it to give me something. I want it to either give me food or medicine. And so I really love them. Okay, here I see a bunch of goldenrod. It's not really ready yet, but goldenrod is another favorite. I use it in tea a lot. And it's really good if you know, if you want to use it that way or make a tincture. It also makes a beautiful bouquet. I just love goldenrod, and I try to collect the flowers and the leaves both. And like I said, I either dry it for tea or I make a tincture out of it. And it's another good one that we have here at Whitecotton. So I thought I'd just show it to you. These are the ones I like, these big stalks right here. And then there's goldenrod. There's a lot of different species of goldenrod. So there's a lot of them that are goldenrod. And you always want to make sure that you have researched to make sure that you're always identifying everything right. But this is one I really love. There's a few. I first started out wanting everything, and I found out that there's a handful of plants that will do a lot of what I need. So those are the ones I concentrate on now. Now here's a picture of a big white oak tree that my son brought to me last fall. I love to gather acorns in the fall and make flour with them. I love the whole process. It is very labor intense. It's fun to do, but it takes a long time, but I love it, and I love the flour that it makes. And I love knowing that if something ever happened, I could go out and I could gather acorns and make me some flour. So I just love it. This tree looks like it has totally died. It was too big when he got it, he thought. It's harder to transplant a big one, but this year he'll be getting me a smaller one. And so I'm looking forward to that. It has the big acorns, and the one I use right now that's in my backyard is a red oak tree, and it's smaller acorns, but it makes delicious flour, so it's all good. But anyway, I'll show you that process a little later. And here I have a white pine tree. This is one, the branches are low, so I gather pine needles here. I also gather pine pollen from this tree, and you can just gather all kinds of things from white pine because a lot of it's edible, a lot of it is good for tea, and you can always know a white pine because it has 5 little needles in each little bunch. And if you spread those out, I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you spread it out, there they are. There is 5 of them. And that's how I always know it's a white pine. And that's the one that I like to use for medicine, for tea, for pine pollen, for everything. I love the white pine. And guys, I didn't mention, but there is a beautiful redbud tree too. And the redbuds, whenever they flower, those little buds, they're also edible. They're great to put in your salad. They have nutritional value. And it's just a beautiful little tree in your yard or in your pasture or in your tree line or whatever. But I gather the little buds and then I just add them to salads. Okay, here we are back at the persimmon tree. And I'm always looking at the persimmon tree because I always love to collect the persimmons. Bad thing is about a persimmon tree, so do the deer. They love to eat persimmon. Well, every animal seems like it likes persimmon. So I go out every single morning and I either lay down a sheet and make sure that I collect them right when they drop. And like I said, persimmons, you cannot collect them until they are ready. They have to be ripe and ready to fall off the tree. And a lot of people I always used to hear say that it had to frost before they were ripe. And I'm here to tell you, after years and years, that is not true. That is a myth, because they will ripen before frost. They do not have to, it does not have to frost on them, in other words. When they are ready, they fall off the tree and they're real soft. They have a certain look and a certain feel to them. And I'll show you that later, but this is just my favorite tree. All right, here we are back to the winged sumac that I think I showed you guys this one before. And it has really sprouted out now. And as a matter of fact, there's 1 or 2 that are really starting to turn red. But like I said in my last video, these will become really red. They will be real sticky with like this gray, whitish look to them. It's like a powdery look, but yet they're really sticky. And you can take this little plant and you can pull those berries off and use it to make like a wild sumac lemonade, or a wild sumacade, I guess they call it. And it's really good. I've made it several times. I made it for the kids when my kids when they were little. And it's good, it's tart, and it's full of vitamin C, and it's just a nutritious little drink. And I really like it, and I'll show you again whenever it gets a little bit riper. Okay, here we have a black willow, and this one is one that I have processed a few times too. It's like a lot of people call these willows the aspirin plants, and they're medicinal and they work a lot like aspirin does, or that's the way that we use it anyway. And it's just a beautiful little plant, and most people use white willow. This is actually a black willow, and this is what we have here at Whitecotton. And they're supposedly work the same, so that's the way I use it. And I'll show you a leaf up close. It just looks like a willow tree. And you know, it's just a really good one, and I have some pictures where I have processed it, and I will put them on here with this video and show you what that looks like. You take that little inner bark from it, and that's what you use. And I dry that and use it as a tea. Now, this is not one that you would use every day as a tea base. This is one that you would use, you know, for a specific reason. And like I said, you always want to research and make sure you have the right plants when you're doing this. And but this is another good one. And as I said before, I have a handful of plants. I know where they're at here at Whitecotton, and I love that. And you could probably find a lot of these same plants at your place. But this is the black willow. Here I have the sun in my eyes and I can't see real good, but this is my elderberry bush, and this is a really good thing too. I make elderberry syrup every year, and that's what I use to keep my immune system strong. I just take about a teaspoon or a tablespoon of elderberry syrup through the winter time just to keep everything strong. And you can also use it, or the way I use it is I will use it more than that, like 2 or 3 times a day if I feel like I'm getting sick or something's happening. But I love elderberry. That's probably one of my very favorites. I say that about a lot of them because I really love a lot of them. Every season is different and things change all the time. Again, here is some raspberry leaves right there, and I always love to get them too. And I think I showed you once before on these two. The backs are white. That's how I can tell black raspberries. And this one, I wish the berries were on here. They're nutritional too, but they're great. They're a little berry that comes off. I always say it comes off like a cap, and a blackberry is kind of stuck to the stem. And I don't really care for blackberries, but I love these black raspberries. Here's some of my rose bushes, and they're here by my old chicken pen, and they grow wonderful. Imagine that, being by the chicken pen. But everything here is organic. I don't put weed killer on anything. I don't use anything. I use all natural fertilizers. Everything is that way. And so I always know that if I need some rose petals for a salad or anything, I can always just come out and pick one off, or just a pretty bouquet. And like I said, these are kind of past their time right now, but they're still beautiful to me. And here we have a grinding stone. I don't know why I like these things. I have a huge collection of them, but I just do. I just do. And I don't know if I've told you all before, but I own an antique mall, have for almost 22 years now. And this is just one of the things. I love all the primitive stuff and the old ways and things like that. And I have a collection of them, and this one here is just sitting here by one of the pine trees. But I just love them. Here's a bunch of my honeysuckles that I also use. The kids love to come and grab one and pull that little strand out and suck that sweet juice. And if you have grandkids, or you probably did it as a child too, but anyways, these are the ones, they're covered in honeysuckles. And this is on the fence of my chicken pen, my old chicken pen. And I just left it instead of weeding them down so that I could use the honeysuckles for tinctures and for dried. So I dry them, make tinctures out of them. They're a good thing as well. Okay, there's a better shot of my honeysuckles along that fence, and then there are my rose bushes. and I can gather all the roses that I need off of those bushes right there. Here we have a poke plant in all its glory. It's a beautiful plant, but I would not touch those berries. And I know a lot of people use them for medicine in tiny, tiny bits, but I don't use anything that's not safe, and I would never use it. So, but it is beautiful. It's beautiful to look at. And right behind this tree that fell, I believe it was this spring, is my path that I foraged on. And I found so many good things that goes into our woods, and the tree fell and we have not had a chance to get that all moved. So my path has grown up, and I'm a little afraid of snakes. I almost stepped on a copperhead last year, and so I don't like to do that. But as soon as I get that all cleared off, I'll show you down that path. Well, where I live, it's kind of late for mullein, but that is definitely a little mullein plant. I believe it is getting ready to flower. So I think I will let that one flower. It's kind of here in the edge of the woods, and I think I'll let it go to seed, and then next year I'll have some more baby mullein plants. And but I love mullein, another one of my favorites here at Whitecotton. Okay, I think this is one that they call lady's thumb. And this one, if you see that little dark spot? It looks like somebody grabbed the leaf and left a little thumbprint in it. And that one's a good thing too. And here we have I'm almost sure that's a dock plant. Not positive, but we have a lot of dock around here. We have burdock, curly dock. We have a lot of dock around here, so I'm pretty sure that's what that one is, but not positive. Okay, I think these are dock seeds. And I believe right down inside there is a curly dock. And the dock seeds, they are edible. I think people make flour out of them. I haven't, but I would like to try it. This is down on my road a little bit, and I just found these, and I haven't seen them on my place yet. But here's also some more lady's thumb, and this one has already got a little flower out on it. I believe this lady's thumb is edible, but it's a real pretty little plant. We have it all over. But that is the dock seeds. Here's a new forsythia plant that a friend gave me, and I was so excited to get it. I have wanted one of these for years, and she came by and dropped it off here at my antique mall, and it bloomed this year. It was back in the fall, I think, when she dropped it off, and it bloomed, and it was beautiful. So I'm excited for this to get really big, and I love it. So these silvery gray bushes here, these are autumn olives. We have them all over here at Whitecotton, and we do not like them. We have berries on them, and I have tried them from every bush I can find, and mine are all so bitter and tart that I can't use them. And I know a lot of people make jams and jellies from them, but I have never found one sweet enough for that. So I don't like them, and they're very, very invasive here. They are all over. They grow up everywhere. So this is one I don't like real well. And here you can see it. It's in our fence row. Like I said, they literally grow up everywhere. They're very, very invasive. They're invasive in the pastures. They're not a good thing for us. And a lot of people like them, and like I said, they gather the berries off of them, but our berries are not sweet, so we don't like them that well. And here's a little quick shot of our backyard here at Whitecotton, and like I said, we have a lot of pine trees back here, and a lot of them are not white pines though, and I'm not sure what they are, so I don't use them. They're just beautiful. And and they've taken a lot of damage in the past years from ice storms and wind and everything else. But I have a couple that I know where they're at that are white pines, and those are the ones that I use all the time for my medicine, for tea, for whatever I need it for. Now I believe a lot of that is poison ivy. We definitely have our share of poison ivy here at Whitecotton too. We have it all over. You have to watch all the time. And we have a lot of it. And I do watch for it. I believe these are juniper berries. But I've never gathered them because I'm not absolutely for sure. But I think this is a red cedar, or an eastern red cedar tree, I believe. And there's always berries on here. Like I said, I know people use them in cooking. They use them, you know, for a lot of different things. But I've never gathered them, but we've always had them. If you know for sure that they are, let me know. Okay, here we have a lot more poison ivy around this little tree. And this is one, my husband weed eats it down constantly, but it still comes up. And this is the road that goes up to my antique mall. And we've got a lot of poison ivy over there too. So we always be careful when we're walking down the road. But there's a lot of poison ivy all over our place. So we try to just be careful. And I know we have a lot of jewelweed too. That's really good for poison ivy. And there's several things that will soothe it. But I think the important thing is to be sure that when you get it on you or you've been around it, to bathe and use some good soap and scrub it off. Scrub off that oil. Wow, check this out. These deer have ate off every little plant that I have. This again is the sedum plant, and I just have it here sitting on a table that we use. As you can tell, it has pine needles all over it, but they have just ate out of every pot around this whole place. Okay, here is another winged sumac, and this one is going to be beautiful. But that one, I don't think I will be able to get to that one. But boy, I'll show you a picture of this whenever it gets ripe and they're ready, because it's beautiful, especially those top bunches. They're so gorgeous. This one is just so beautiful. Had to get another quick shot of it. And I'm anxious to see this one as it turns, because it's going to be beautiful. Okay, here we are back over at the cabin, and this is some more winged sumac. This one's closer. It faces the sun, and I think that it is just, you know, more in the sun. But it's almost ready, or it's getting there anyway. But I thought that you should see this one too. And it's up tall too. I won't be able to reach that one. But as you can see, there it is. But it's beautiful. And like I said, I'll bring you back. Maybe we'll gather some, and I'll show you how to take those seeds off and make a sumac-ade drink. So here is another garden that I'm working on. I really love these container gardens. Not crazy about the plastic, but I need one that is a raised bed or a raised garden. And these are the totes. I believe they're number 5s, and they're supposed to be food safe. So I'm going to give it a try. If we like it, maybe we will just build raised beds later. But I do like it. I have a little fence around it, just like I do at my home. And we're going to just see how it goes. Again, here you can see some goldenrod. I just love it whenever it's time for the goldenrod. It's so beautiful. And like I said, I like to make bouquets out of it too. And we have so much goldenrod at the cabin over here. I do love it. I do. sun shining on it. It looks so pretty. And this one you want to get, if you're going to dry it especially, you want to get it just as the flowers come out and you can tell what they are, because you don't want it to be fuzzy. And if you let it go too long, you've lost some of the medicinal properties and it becomes fuzzy when you dry it. So you don't want to do that. Here's again. We have a windy day today. While we're over here at the cabin, I'll show you, I crochet these, they're hornet's nest, and they're a decoy for wasp and bees, and I use them over here because we tend to have these bees that want to eat on our cabin, and they've been a problem in the past, and these have worked real well for me. I have 2 cabins, and I have them hanging on both of them. I also have one hanging in my golf cart just so wasps don't get on me. Here you can see the little one I have in my golf cart. Every time I get in here, I have constantly got wasp around me. And I don't know if it's because it's warm in here or what, but I keep this little one in here just for fun. I love it. I don't have a pattern for it because I just kind of made it up as I went along. But if I do make one up, I will put a little tutorial on my page under crochet. And they're really a neat little thing. They have a tie on the top, and you can fill them with like grocery bags or Walmart bags. And then when they get flat, you just take the old ones out, put new ones in, and they are real light, so they'll just hang anywhere. They hang on your cabin, they'll hang at your door, and I've made all different sizes. And they're really a fun little thing. And like I said, they have worked for us. Now, somebody might argue that and say that they don't work for them, but for us, I have them on my cabins and they work very well. Wow, check out all that grass. This is the end of July and we have so much grass. It's so thick right now. I need to gather that up and put it in my compost bin. I'm really into compost right now, and I need all of it. I need it green too. I think this would be considered a brown, and I need green and brown. This is a red bud that we have. It's been here for many years, and we had a tornado that came through, and it broke most of it off, and what was left, it kind of just, it's been ratty ever since. It's missing the big part of it, as you can see right here. And I just noticed there's a little bitty tree coming out of the bottom right there, and I really love that. I hope that that will make it. And I don't know, if you cut down that big tree, would that one grow and be good? I'm not sure, but we may have to try that, because this one is, it is in such bad shape. I don't even know how it continues to bloom, but for the last couple years after the tornado, it still blooms. It's beautiful. It is just full of purple flowers. And this is the one that I usually gather the purple flowers from for my salads. But anyways, I sure hate whenever a tree dies. But anyways, maybe that's the last bit of life right there. This one here, a lot of people call these naked ladies, or they call them mystery flowers. They're beautiful. They just shoot up and bloom, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. And I guess that would be why they call them mystery lilies. But I just love them, and we have them all over around here, so I just love them. This was, all of these bulbs once belonged to my husband's grandmother. And they're just so pretty, and she loved them. I mean, she just loved them. She talked about them all the time, so they always remind me of her. Oh my gosh, I have a mess of flowers that I bought. It's been years ago. They have been sitting in these little tubs, and a lot of them are still alive. And I just noticed this beautiful hydrangea bloom. I've got to get these things planted. Here's another one that has blooms. This one's already bloomed. but it blooms every year sitting here in these pots, and I'm so ashamed. It has been so long that they've been sitting out here and I haven't planted them. Here is a beautiful peony bush that was my mom's, and she passed away, and my sisters and I all took a part of it, and this is what we have. This is one of them. I have them planted all throughout, and I do love peonies, and I also love a memory, but I love it and wanted to show it to you. Well, that's all I have for my tour today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Right here around the end of July, everything's looking kind of ratty, but these little sedums, they're looking good. They're getting ready to bloom here before long. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Come back and see me again, and I'll show you some of these things as they progress, and we'll talk about more then. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and like and comment. I'd love to have your comments. I'd love to talk to you all. Thank you again. Bye-bye.